And what are AI agents? AI agents are software programs or systems that can perceive the environment, make decisions, and act autonomously to achieve specific goals. Very important. Those are the key parts to it. And the characteristics of AI agents are four main characteristics of an AI agent. One, autonomy. What do we mean by autonomy? Autonomy means that it can operate independently and make decisions on their own. This is very important for an AI agent. An AI agent that does not have the capability and the ability to operate independently on its own and make decisions on your own is not regarded as an AI agent. Because here you are, if you have to tell it before it does or and cannot think and make decisions independently, we don't usually categorize it as an AI agent. It can be something else, but it's not an AI agent. The second part is perception. Can sense its environment using inputs like text, images, data, voice, meaning that it receives inputs. One form of input, either you type something to it and say, I would like to do this, or you feed it with an image and say, please, can you classify this for me, or something. It must have an input, and by so it is interacting with its environment, voice, data, different means, and there are different means by which it can interact with the environment. One, keyboard, where we can use in typing, a mic or a microphone, which you use in receiving voice, sensors that can sense different vehicles, like in self-driving cars, excuse me, and the rest. Thirdly, reasoning can process information, plan, and solve problems. Fourthly, action can execute tasks directly or by coordinating with other systems, as we'll be seeing in some of the examples we'll be seeing. Let's move over to examples of AI agents. Examples of AI agents, some of them we are aware of them, like virtual assistants. We have different virtual assistants. We have Alexa, we have Siri, and the way the inputs they receive is voice. The it has its own mechanism of processing the voice, the information or the command you give it, and it comes up with a response, replies with an answer, which is also always in a voice. So Siri is one of the virtual assistants. You can as well create your own virtual assistant, but one of the examples of AI agents is virtual assistant. Second one are software agents. Software agents, example of them is Relevant AI. We'll be looking at this particular one today. Second one is NA8, and there are several of them. I'm just giving some examples of them. We also have autonomous agents. We have Tesla, self-driving cars, where the input is voice, images, and other vehicles from a sensor which is inside the vehicle itself. It has sensors which can sense other vehicles and the distance between them and the rest of them, and obstacles too. What does it do? After sensing this, it helps it to navigate the road. Another example of autonomous agents are Manus. This one is a recent release that just came out not too long. And the function of this is, the good thing about this type is that you give it an instruction, it goes by itself to do it. Let me explain what I mean. Let's say, for instance, I want to search for puppies, images of puppies, and you give this instruction to Manus now, the Manus AI. What it does after you give it, it will go to Google, search Google itself, and type in images of puppies, and bring it will lead you to the image part of Google search, and you see all of the images. All of his actions are visible. It has a side image where you can see all what it's doing. It's very transparent. It will tell you all what it's doing. Its thinking pattern, it will tell you also, and it can go ahead. It can even book an appointment for you. It can make calls on your behalf. It's so autonomous. It can do things by itself without little or no assistance. How do you build AI agents? Very important. One, you can use code, meaning that you use the major programming language that is used in building AI agents, but it is not the only one, but the major one is Python. Python programming language. So if you are good in Python programming, you can code it yourself, yes, and build from scratch. if you know how to do so. So you can use a programming language, Python, best case scenario, then you combine it with some tools and some modules, then you are able to build your AI agents. Second way you can build it, these ones have become popular these days, and the good thing with this is that so if you are a non-tech person, you don't have an idea of coding and the rest of them, you can still build AI agents. And that brings us to what we refer to as non-code AI agent builders. Example of them is N8N, Relevance AI, Agent AI, Make.com. There's several of them, Agentive, so many. And each of them have one advantage over the other, or one will do something better than the other. So over time, you'll have to pick the one that works best for you. But out of my own personal observation, the one that is easy, when you say the learning curve is not that much. Example of them is the agent AI, the learning sorry, relevant AI. Instead, relevant AI, the learning curve is not that steep. So if I'm to suggest which one you should start with, I will suggest you start with the relevance AI, and that's the one we'll be starting with first. After we've perfected relevance AI, I'll explain to you, I'll show you how it is done. Then each and every one of us, you go back, create a simple agent and share it in the group. Let's see what you've done. That's the best way to do it. You watch, you observe, and you do. And if you have any difficulty, you can chat me up either on YouTube, or you can chat me up in the WhatsApp group. Any of them, I would definitely answer you. Okay. Components of an AI agent. LLM, meaning large language model. And this is the part that is in charge of reasoning, planning, is in charge of it. Without this LLM, your AI agent will not work. It's more like saying a human being without a brain, or a computer without an operating system. It will not work. So you must have an LLM. And when we refer, okay, I will explain more into the LLM later. Prompts. Here is where you give an instruction, what the agent is to do. This is where you must give detailed explanation of what this AI agent is to, what is expected of it. This is where you give it prompts, different prompts. We'll be looking more into it. The third one is tools. Tools. Here, these are the things that are at the disposal of the AI agent so that it can carry out its function properly very well. The fourth one is memory, for storing data and for conversation. Here is where it can store data, which is going to be making use of when it wants to carry out its tasks. And also, if you have a conversation with it, it should still be able to remember what you said before, what was the last thing you said. So memory is very important when it comes to an AI agent. Please, all these things we've said are very important. So store them, and if you have to jot them somewhere, very important, you should do so. Like for instance, we looked at the characteristics of AI agent: autonomy, perception, reasoning, and action. Very important. Looking at the components of an AI agent. So when you are building your own, make sure these four things are inside. Or if even, yeah, all the four things have to be there, whether directly or indirectly, because some of these AI, non-code AI agent builders, they take care of the memory for you. Some don't take care of the memory for you. You are the one to create the memory yourself. So it can either be three of these or four of them. Like for instance, if you are doing N8N, it does not take care of memory for you. You are the one to input your memory yourself, everything yourself. Okay, let's keep moving on. So let's pick one of each of them one by one. What do we mean by large language model, LLM? Examples of them are OpenAI's ChatGPT, Google's Gemini, Meta's Llama, and Highfly's DeepSeek. Meaning that ChatGPT was produced by OpenAI, Gemini AI was produced by Google, Llama is produced by Meta, DeepSeek is produced by iFlyers. Now, any of you can choose any of these. I think right now most of our language models will do well. And so if the only thing that might limit or make you choose one over the other cost. To make use of this LLM, you have to have some amount of money in your in you have to put in some amount of money, maybe $5, $10, any of them as time be, but they have the free version to an extent where you can walk around like open AI ChatGPT. If you're going to use an API to access their own large language model, you have to put in some amount of money. $5 is not bad for it, and the rest. But the cheaper ones, and that for me, if I'm to advise, since you are still learning, if you want to take it seriously, like you really want to do it for a client or the rest, then you can start paying for it. And the good thing about the payment is it is pay as you go, meaning that or pay as you use. What that means is that it is when you use it that you pay, that they deduct from me. It's not the type that is monthly. Normal chat GPT, if you are using it, you pay $20 or so monthly. And once that month is over, the $20 goes. No, it's not like that. It is as frequent as you use that they'll be deducting it. And the deduction is not that much. So if you go down to Google Gemini, I think Google Gemini is one of the ones that are kind of liberal. Okay, so here you can still make use of it. I won't say it is free, but it has its free version which you can still make use of. Meta Llama, that one is open source, so it's completely free. It's completely free, but it has its own limitations there. And we have high flyers DeepSeek. So if I'm to make recommendations on the LLM you are to use either Gemini or DeepSeek. But for our tutorial, the one we'll be doing, we'll be making use of Gemini. Yeah, Gemini. Gemini will give you a result. DeepSeek, they will tell you that you need to DeepSeek, Chat, GPT, those ones will tell you that you need to put in some amount of money because their APIs are you have to pay for their APIs. All right. Prompts. A prompt is the input or instruction you give to an AI model to make it do something. Prompt engineering is the art and science of crafting effective prompts to get the best results for an AI model. Now, whatever the instruction you give to your AI model or AI agent is the instruction it will follow. The key here is that you have to be as explicit as possible. Don't give room for the AI to assume for you because you might get results that you did not plan for. Very weird results. And you'll be wondering, where is this one coming from? So I would advise you take time in your prompts, give it clear instructions. The best way to do those kind of instructions, do step-by-step instructions. Tell it that after you do this, then you go ahead and do this. After you do this one, then you move over to the next one. Give it step-by-step instructions. And after you give it step-by-step instructions, you can go further to give it an example so that you can understand the context. Say you can say example, this is this and this and this is how I want it to be done. You can specify the format of the output. If you are looking for a format, maybe you want it to be a JSON, you want it to be a text file, or you want it to be a PNG, or you want it to be a PDF file. You must give your details. Be clear and specific. These parts should not be ignored because if you don't do this, you observe that your AI agent will come out with strange results, and it will be somehow when you're handing it over to a client and the client starts complaining that the AI agent is not doing what it ought to do. Now, let's move on to tools. Specialized functions. Tools are specialized functions, APIs, services, or capability that an agent can access and use to extend its ability beyond its core reasoning and language and capability. Okay, for instance, let's say I want to search the web. I'm just giving it as an example. I want to search the web. If I'm to do that, um, ChatGPT cannot by itself. Okay, although now they've added searching of the web, but um, it's to an extent it might not do it the way you want. So this one you are creating the AI agent yourself. So what you do is that you have to link your LLM to a Google search. So what you do is that you create a tool that can access the Google search. Yeah, you make it available to your LLM, and the LLM makes use of it to get the job done. That's how it works. So we have API integration, connections to external services like search engines, weather forecast, database, and the rest of them. Okay. So this is where we'll stop for this. And the next thing we are going to be doing is to go to the practice session.